Should be. All right, fellas, man, we back up in the pocket again. Ready to do it for week 3. Y'all ready? How y'all
Yeah,
feeling?
I'm ready.
All right, man.
Got
So
fresh
look.
haircut.
Hey,
Ready.
look, I'm glad somebody got one. I'm struggling.
What's going on?
So look, man, we got a lot to get to, and man, week 3 should be interesting, man. I think the proof should be in the pudding, right? At this point in time, after this week, I should say, we had folks jump out early in week 1, look great. Week 2 look like they need to be moved out off the set. And so this week, man, it should kind of give us a better idea of who's legit and who's who the pretenders are for the most part. And so, man, let's get into it, fellas. We got Gene, we got Sleeper King Jose, and we got Terrence T in the building, ready to get going. So look, we're gonna start off, man, and recap the Thursday night thriller, somewhat, not quite, but the Houston Carolina game, and as predicted, given that the backup incumbent Tyrod Taylor was out, we had Davis Mills come in for Houston, and so I'm pretty sure most people expected Carolina to walk away with this game, which they pretty much did. The big news though, CMC is out, went out early in that game with a hamstring issue. Man, I think that's kind of devastating for CMC owners. Most folks who didn't get an opportunity to draft them, they sweet. I get a chance to compete. Damn, that's one less running back I had to worry about. But let's run down the numbers real quick. Sam Donald, ended up with 304 yards, but had 2 rushing TDs actually. I'm not used to that from Sam Donald, giving us 2 rushing touchdowns. However, do you guys think he's put himself in? He's actually been performing pretty good. You think he's moved himself into that QB1 or primary streamer conversation yet? Let me start with you, Jose.
Yeah. I think QB1. Yeah, I definitely think so. The playbook, the skills position out there. He has DJ Moore, Terrence Marshall, and Anderson. Oh, and they got this tight end to Arnold. He's starting to get some play, but I seen him in USC, so I kind of know how he runs the offense and spreads the ball around. So I think he a QB1 this year.
All right. What about you, Gene?
Nah, yeah, I definitely think he's a QB1. Like, it's funny because going into the season, I like had him as one of them fringe, QB1 because based off of his potential, you feel like he could possibly blow up, but being with the Jets, it was definitely like you didn't know if it was the Jets or if it was him. But after these first three weeks, I think you definitely see that he's on his way. Even with McCaffrey out, I don't think that that should drop him down too much. So I definitely believe he should be in the QB1 category.
Oh, okay. So back to the CMC.
Awesome point. I don't have him as a QB1. I'm sorry. I mean, it's QB1 to me.
Man, you sounded early.
top 12 QB.
Right.
And the thing is, I got Sam Darnold, but I'm not starting him. I'm not even starting him over Cousins, Tannehill, Stafford, Herbert. So to me, he's not in that QB1, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean,
so after week two, he was at 15 after week 2, right? And so he was behind names like at just after week 2, he was behind names like Jameis, Tyrod Taylor, Teddy Bridgewater, Stafford, Cousins, Carr, right, and Golf. So you figure Tyrod Taylor's gone. Jameis Winston, we not sure about. What do you think between Donald, if you had to pick between Donald, Bridgewater, and Stafford, who would you go with?
Well, we're going with Matthew Stafford,
Stafford,
definitely. But
easy.
speaking to the point earlier though, with the 2 rushing touchdowns, people forget that coming out of college he could move. And we've seen him run for his life for what 3 years with the Jets. Like I think that he can get rushing touchdowns. As not of course, he won't get 2 every week. He might get 1 every 3 or 4 weeks. But I just think that his ceiling is so much higher than most of the people that you name, except for Matthew Stafford. That to me, he's a QB1.
Okay.
All right. So look back to the CMC injury, right? How would you guys handle if you this week, if you had CMC, he played Thursday night, right? And you looking at say if you were going head, we were playing head to head, and you had a game, basically full slate of games this weekend. How would you play that? Would you, try to go for your, the home run this week, or would you still just play your best lineup and try to get the most points, based on the who you have on your roster? Let me start with Terrence. How would you handle that if you had CMC on your roster this week?
I'm still gonna play my lineup as usual. I mean, he still gave you 5 points. If you in a half-point PPR league, yeah. But I'm not really too much a believer of changing my. If I got my lineup set, I got the best people in. So I'm not gonna try to go for a home run just because I think I'm gonna make up some points. So.
Okay. What about you, Jose? How would you play?
Depends on my lineup, but I probably had to reshuffle to try to make up those points.
Okay, I think it would depend on if my opponent came out and got a surprise, 25 points from Sam Donald, right? And so if I find myself down, or if he had DJ Moore, right, on starting, and so I think based on that is how I would probably play it. But let's take a look real quick. I am going to share and get a see if we can get a real look at somebody's roster in the pocket fantasy football league and see if how you guys will play his roster for this weekend. And this is who is this? Derek Davis's Unreal team. So let me share my screen real quick. So you guys can see. All right, here we go.
I already know what I would do.
You said you already know what you would do. All right, so this is Derek Davis. Well, actually, the crazy thing is, on this roster, he had DJ Moore. So DJ Moore gave him 17.5 points in our league. Right now, he has, he got a nice little squad. He got Kyler Murray, DJ Moore, Tyler Boyd, McCaffrey. Right now, Ronald Jones, Everett, and Herbert. Anybody you guys move off of this starting lineup at all?
Yeah.
What would you do, Jose? You seen it?
Yes, I would take out Rondell Moore out and put in James White. Everett, I would take out Everett and find another tight end. I don't like none of his tight ends.
You wouldn't go to Johnny Smith?
Not yet. He hasn't proved to me nothing. Not yet. And I would try to squeeze in. I would try to decide either Odell Beckham or Boyd because you got T. Higgins out. So Boyd and Chase are gonna get most of those catches. So, but Odell's coming. If he's back, I think he might shine in that game against Chicago.
Well, yeah, considering that Landry is, having his issues, so I definitely think Odell has the opportunity to do things. You got anything on that, Gene? How would you play it?
Yeah, I was looking at it. Yeah, I don't really see a lot of flexibility on this roster. I think he's playing the best people that you could possibly play. The only thing
Oh,
that I would even consider, like he said, is maybe Boy for Beckham, but with Chase out, I mean, he's definitely going to get more targets than
Higgins out.
I'm sorry, well, Higgins out. He's definitely going to get more targets than he normally would. So now I think he got to play it. He got to play it as is. He can't go around chasing points. Like I wouldn't go and try to chase points.
I want hold up one thing before you get started. I would
All
take
right.
out his tight end and get a Hooper from Cleveland since he's a free
That
agent.
but that's the question: is he a free agent in our league?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
is
our
he gonna
league.
leave him? Really?
Look now,
Yeah,
look,
him
Gene,
and
Gene, Gene, Gene
Njoku.
quietly making moves. They go Derek Davis a chance to get Hooper.
Right.
You
Like hold
snooze, you
on.
lose.
Right,
But he's
Gene.
not even the number one tight end on Cleveland, though.
It's in
Um,
Juco.
right.
Yeah, but Njoku gets only those big plays. He's the starting tight end. Hooper is the starting tight end.
Oh, okay.
Njoku comes in as just like a big play tight end.
Okay.
It's like when they had Doyle and Ebron. Doyle was a consistent tight end, but Ebron came in and get those catches.
No, okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. So last thing on this on the Thursday night showdown, Brandon Cooks. You guys. So he's been putting up big numbers. All year so far, and even with Tyrod Taylor out and Davis Mills starting, he ended up with 11 targets, 9 receptions, and 112 yards, which is good enough for about almost 12 points. Um, you guys think he matchup proof, or you think, or should I say quarterback proof, and you can rock with him week in and week out? We'll start with you, Gene, and then go to turns.
No, I don't think anybody's quarterback proof. Like unless it's somebody like a McCaffrey who's getting a lot of short swing passes or running back. I don't think any receiver is running back proof. I mean, it's quarterback proof. It just depends on what you have on your roster. Like if you have something that you think is better that you can replace them with, then you do it. But if not, then you just got to ride with them and hope. But I don't think any receiver is quarterback proof. They're too dependent.
Right. Look, when I say that, I mean Sands bringing somebody off the street and and suiting him up like he was a scab player. But what you think, Terrence? You think Brandon Cooks, you can pretty much trust him week
I
in and week out?
mean, he proved it. I don't know what else we need to. He
I mean,
already he did. He sit there like you saw me. I just showed you I'm quarterback proof. You know what I
right.
mean? So
Yeah,
like,
you got to remember, Davis Mills is the third. He's the third quarterback basically on the roster because it was supposed to have been Watson, then Tyrod, then Davis Mills. So
Right.
yeah, I mean it's like this: targets turn into catches turn into yards. So uh, if your quarterback throwing you the ball, that's gonna give you more chances, and that's what's happening. So he's the number one option. And if I'm a quarterback coming off the bench, I'm gonna throw it to who I think gonna make the catch. So
But we've seen time and time again, year and year over, that you have a top receiver and his quarterback goes out and his targets just plateau. Because
but look, we talking about Tyrod Taylor, and we ain't talking about Aaron Rodgers.
right.
So in this situation, I don't is it that much of a drop off?
Well, true, but I think the question was, do we think he's quarterback proof though, right? And so like I don't feel that any receiver because here's what you have, right? You have quarterbacks who are comfortable with certain people, right? And you never know who that quarterback is comfortable with until they play. Then your quarterback that's comfortable with certain routes and route combinations, right? So you've seen people who seem like they were just like that. I think it was Mike Thomas one year and Drew Brees was out for a couple games. Like Mike Thomas went from maybe 13, 14 targets to like 4 or 5 or something. And so I think like some quarterbacks can force, certain routes, and they just have a certain connection with certain people, but you don't really know until they play. So, it just the opinions. You know what I mean? Like it just depends.
I think after seeing the Thursday night game with him getting 11 targets from Davis Mills, I think you can rock with him. It seems like
Yeah, I mean,
he
and
know
again,
where his bread is buttered at this point in time.
right,
Like
and
I
again,
need to stay in
like
competitive.
I believe that you play him. Like I don't believe that you never not play him, but yeah, quarterback proof. I don't know. Unlike
Nice.
unless you Jerry Rice, and then you're going from Montana to Young to Garfield or something. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's get into player statuses right now. So right now, what we have, folks that are doubtful: T. Higgins, not expected to play. Jamison Crowder is doubtful. Receiver for New Jersey, that's against Denver. Josh Jacobs is doubtful. Dalvin Cook is doubtful. Darrell Henderson is doubtful. I think somebody just mentioned that they got his backup. Elijah Mitchell, another San Fran running back, is doubtful. Oh, look, I forgot.
275.
Look, I forgot to give Elijah Mitchell's nickname, the Bag. Elijah the Bag Mitchell. The ruled out so far. Russell Gage for Atlanta. Deontay Johnson, Tyrell Williams, receiver for Detroit. Tevin Coleman is out. Of course, Tua Tagovailoa is out. San Fran Jermichael Hasty is out. They might as well just trade for what's the name? Cordero Patterson. They need another running back. Somebody can play receiver too. Antonio Brown is out, and then Andy Dalton for Chicago is still out. The game time decisions: Kenny Galladay, Darrell Mooney, DeAndre Swift, and Marquise Brown. So those are all game time decisions. So definitely keep an eye out for Kenny Galladay. I got him on one of my rosters. Darrell Mooney, DeAndre Swift, Marquise Brown. So let me ask you, well, first of all, you're not playing any San Fran running backs at this point in time. If you are, you deep in the waiver wire at this point in time. But the Darrell Henderson impact, with him being, if he doesn't play, what's the impact there? Do you guys expect to see them to be productive in the ground game?
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Turn.
yeah, start with that. Yeah, I think we don't know yet, because you got Sony Michael back there, you got Funk back there, and we don't know what that timeshare is going to be like. When he went out in the last game, I think Funk came in first, but then the second half it was Sony, and so you taking a risk, either one of them. I would even reach out to what's that? The backup running back from Philly, Gainwell.
Oh yeah,
Take a look at him.
Man, listen.
No,
it's okay. We're not panicking over here in San Francisco. Like you see, oh my bad, my badge on this side right here. No, they got some running backs ready to rock and roll. Jaquez, Patrick. They got Trey Cannon. They got some running backs. Oh, they got Chris Thompson too. He's on the practice squad. So
who's gonna get the primary touches, Jose?
Sermon.
Okay.
Trey Sermon started. He's starting this week.
Oh, I have Trey Sermon too. Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so let's jump into the let's see any more other inactives right for this week. Going down to the Indianapolis, Tennessee. For Tennessee, they got Caleb Farley, the DB is out. Anthony Fersker, tight end. Then Dirk Robertson, DN. Pittsburgh, of course, we say Deontay Johnson. TJ Watt is out for Pittsburgh. And Trey Wayne's corner for Cincinnati is out. For Washington Buffalo, Matt Ioannidis, DM, is listed as inactive. Trying to think anybody else of note. Chris Harris Jr. for the Chargers is out, which is pretty big. Justin Jones, D tackle, as well, for the Chargers out. Looking down at the Chicago, their D tackle Eddie Goldman is still out as well. Tampa Bay, Jaden Mickens, wide receiver, Antonio Brown, then Jason Pierre-Paul won't be playing this week. So the looking down, so that's pretty much it in terms of Rodney McLeod, Philadelphia safety is out. Dallas has Durant Armstrong and Carlos Watkins on the defensive side of the ball. It's out. So, all right, man. Let's get into the week 3 slate of games and see get your thoughts on that. Those slate of games. So we'll start with the Chargers and Chiefs game, right? Consensus over under is at 55.5 points, right? With the Chargers looking. The estimated score is looking to be 31 to 24.5 for Chargers, right? 31 Chiefs, 24.5 for the Chargers. Let's start with you, Jose, in this game with the Chargers and Chiefs. Who do you like? Who do you not like? From perspective, you got Herbert matched up against Mahomes. Eckler seems to be hitting the stride. However, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man, folks are kind of a little disappointed in this season so far. Who are you looking at? Or who do you like? Who do you not like in this game?
I like in this game Tyreek Hill. Since you said what's his name, Harris is out, right?
Right.
I like Tyreek Hill. I like Kelsey. I like Mike Williams. Keenan Allen. I like Jalen Guyton. He's like their rookie receiver. I like Eckler. I definitely like Eckler. And basically, I like the whole San Diego offense. You got Cook. They're all going to get their time and catches and stuff like that. So, Chiefs, I don't like the running backs. I don't like none of their running backs. I don't like their second receiver. I think it's just going to be the Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. So that's it.
All right. So let's go to you, Gene. Let me ask you. I'm gonna kind of steer it a little bit. What do you think about from a tight end perspective, Jared Cook for San Diego? And I'm sorry, Los Angeles for the Jared Cook for the Chargers. And what's your thoughts on Clyde Edwards-Helaire? You on mute? Gene, you on mute? Wow.
Yeah, so I heard a quote from Jared Cook last week that was hilarious, where someone said he was the most talented, worst player in the league. Right? Like he's like this. He's like this huge,
Most talented worst player in the league. I don't even know how you take that.
yeah, like he's this huge tease, man. And so I think Jared Cook, I'm not really high on Jared Cook because I believe that Mike Williams will take a lot of his red zone touches just because he's so big. And he's already had 2 touchdowns coming into this game. So I think that Mike Williams is going to take a lot of Jared Cook's red zone touches that he would have normally had. Now with him developing. Now with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man, he's an enigma. Because I've had him 2 straight years now. In the first 3 weeks of last year, he looked like he was going to be one of the top 5 backs in the league. But Andy Reid he doesn't use a one back approach, and no matter how good you are, it's almost like a Patriots kind of thing with their backs, man. Like they don't care what you did from one week. Each week is a different week, and for me, he's not a running back 1 play. He's more like a running back 2, or maybe like a flex option, because he just doesn't consistently get enough touches. He's productive with the touches he gets, but he doesn't get enough.
I think, man, at this point in time, you got to wonder if Andy Reid believes he's that good at a certain point in time, because I just haven't seen, like you said, he looked people drafted. Or he was drafted as a top prospect coming out, and he looks nowhere near to be the same caliber running back that Hunt was in that system, right?
Right. Well, but do you guys think that? Because I feel like he's been productive with his touches. His touches for some reason were just limited. Like even last year when he was, I
Man, right
think he
now
got
he's averaging 3.3 yards in a tenth.
right.
Right now I think his longest runs for 9 yards. And so he has 89 yards on 27 attempts at
That,
this point in time. Receiving, he has 3 targets, 29 yards. Longest catches receiving is 14 yards. Man, them pedestrian numbers right there.
yeah, not that definitely. And limited and share and time share. Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
All right, so let's move to the Arizona Cardinals Jacksonville Jaguars game, which I think has the second highest point total of 52 points. Uh, Cardinals are actually favored by 7.5, which is a pretty big spread, but the Jaguars look pretty bad. Who you like in this matchup, Terrence? Who do you not like? It should be pretty high
Uh,
scoring.
yeah, but I think it's gonna be one team scoring all the points.
I can see
So
that.
uh,
do
yeah,
you
I
like
mean,
anybody on Jacksonville at all between James Robinson and in the backfield, Hyde, Lawrence at QB? Man,
I mean,
like I said,
it depends on who you got, but I mean, if you got James Robinson, with the running back pool, you most likely you're going to have to play him. Um, I think based on game flow, I think of course the Arizona is gonna get out quick. Um, one one person that might not be on a lot of people's radar this game is Chase Edmonds. Um, I think Chase Edmonds is going to get a lot of catches and some garbage time with them being ahead. Um, so I'm out of the Arizona running backs who I think someone who probably outperformed their projection is probably Chase Edmonds and if you can get the Arizona defense, I got the Arizona defense being probably the highest scoring defense this week. Based on the mistakes that Jacksonville is making.
right. I definitely see Arizona's defense as a good streamer for this week.
Mhm.
While they're not known for defense, they have an opportunity, man, to take advantage of a
Yeah,
lot of key
and they
mistakes.
and if you're looking at Daily or any fans, they like middle of the pack when it comes to pricing.
Right.
So
Okay. The what's your thoughts on Austin Eckler? You think this is a game where he kind of vaults himself up in that cements himself in that RB1 category? We,
I mean going back to the
yeah,
Chargers.
yeah. I'm sorry. Not I went back one game. Let's go back
You talking
to
about Robinson?
no Chase Evans and James Conner. Their backfield. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the Edmonds.
Evans. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any what do you like from this game, Gene? Anybody you like or completely wholeheartedly against?
Um, no, not really. I think everybody's projected pretty much, right, what I mean, where it's supposed to be. It's a hard game to try to predict. So I don't have like a ton of I think Terrence covered it all. I don't want to reiterate everything Terrence already said with his geniusness. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, so let's move to the Bears and Browns. Uh, the over under on this is 46.5 points. Browns favored by 7.5. I think the first thing is Gene, we'll start with you. Are you believing in Justin Fields in this game? You think he has the opportunity to end up in that QB1 range
Um,
this week?
Not this week. I don't see the thing with Fields is that he can run. So you figure like if he gets you 170 yards passing, he might break a 30-yard run. He might get you 65 yards rushing and a touchdown. One passing touchdown, one rushing touchdown. That'll get you about 16, 17 points. So I think when you got running quarterbacks now, I think like that's the way that we're going, right? If you look at most drafts, it's Kyler Murray the first quarterback taken. Mahomes isn't like a serious runner, but you know what I mean. He can get you a lot of about 30, 40 yards on the ground. So I think I wouldn't put him at a QB1 just yet. But he has the potential definitely because he doesn't have to have a good game to give you good fantasy points. You know, again, he gets you 160 in the air, 70 on the ground, one passing touchdown and one rushing touchdown, and that's depending on your league, it's normally 6 points for run touchdown. So I definitely think that if you have him, he's a play. If there's no great options, if you got him, he's definitely a play.
Right, right. Now, I would agree with that. All right. What about you, Jose? Anybody that you like from that game, the Chicago Cleveland game? Anybody you high on or just totally against playing this week?
I'm not high on them too much, but I do see Boyd getting an uptick on catches. I see Mixon getting a lot more attempts, and on the Chicago side, I see more of the two tight ends. So Jimmy Graham and I think Kimmets or Cement or
Cole
whatever.
Kmet.
Commit, yeah. I think I see more catches with them, and I'm not too. I don't like Mooney too much, but I do see Montgomery having a whole bunch of rushing yards this game and catches.
Okay. All right. So let's move to the next game that we got on the slate here, and we go with the Washington football team versus the Buffalo Bills. Over under is 46 points. And right now, the Bills are favored by 8.5. Good gracious. Eight and a half points. All right, well, so first let me ask. We'll start with you, Jose. The battle from a quarterback perspective. Do you think? What's your thoughts on Heineke and Josh Allen?
Oh man, I got Josh Allen on my fantasy. I'm very disappointed with him, but I think he's gonna get back on track. I hope he gets back on track. Heineke, I'm a believer in Heineke. I think just the weapons that he has on offense is going to help build his confidence up. He can also run. Yeah, I think I like the game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, okay. All right, so anybody you looking at you high on in this game or disappointed in? Or
high scoring?
Yeah, high scoring. I needed to be a high scoring.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's wishing. He's
right.
wishing
Right now. I'm like, who's scoring the points? Not Washington.
Washington's gonna be scoring. Watch,
man. Listen, I had a choice between DJ Moore and playing him. I left him on the bench, and I was seriously considering playing him against or putting him in over Stephon Diggs, but my where I drafted Diggs, I just couldn't afford to sit him.
I get you. Well, who your other wide receiver?
Other wide receiver in that league is on that team. Let me see who I have on that. It's actually another pretty good receiver.
Yeah, that's what you must got two really good receivers.
Yeah, they both playing well. I get it to you in a second, as soon as I get to.
Yeah, but
you still with me? Go ahead.
All right, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
All right.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I can't hear y'all.
You can't hear us. All right. Well, turn get that together. Gene, anybody you like on this game? The Washington football team, man.
Yeah, I feel like my Clarence. I think I brought up on last week's podcast that ever since
Can you hear me?
ever since
yeah,
we can hear you. Ever since
Can't see you.
Heineke has came in, McLaren targets have increased. Also, I feel like Logan Thomas has to have a big game sometime, right? And being that Buffalo had a really good defense, quarterbacks tend to lean on a tight ends against really good defense. So I like Logan Thomas a little bit. And for Buffalo, I'm just waiting for the Stephon Diggs breakout game, right? Like it has to come sooner or later. He's been killing me on one of my leagues. So Diggs, even though I think he had like 9 catches last week, I think he only had like 65 yards or something like that. So he hasn't really been getting a lot of deep targets. So I feel like that should be in the game plan this week. So I'm definitely looking for Diggs to have a breakout game, especially since the Washington secondary has been struggling the first two games.
Right, right. Now, I would agree. The other receiver I have is, and it's actually in the league, the league we're in, Gene, is Tyler Lockett. That's why I didn't. He wasn't on consideration. He'd be killing for the last few weeks. So, but all right, so let's move on to Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. Over under is 44 points, with the Titans favored by 5.5. All right. And so we saw the resurgence of Derrick Henry last week, where he was looking a little pedestrian, and folks was counting him as this might be the year that he drops off or falls off a cliff. However, he came through and put together one of those Derrick Henry type performances. So, Jose, anybody of note here? Looks like Jacob Eason is going to be starting for Indianapolis with Carson Wentz on the sidelines. First of all, I don't think there's anybody is there anybody from Indianapolis worth even considering at the moment?
Well, I got a notification saying Wentz is going to probably play.
Is it?
Yeah, if he does, I definitely would pick up Pittman.
Okay.
I'll pick up Pascal. That's been his top red zone threat. And of course, you got Jonathan Taylor. I definitely pick him. And Hines or Nimes, their backup running back. I definitely would pick him up. If it's Eason, I just go with the running back. I don't know about the receivers. I wouldn't pick any receivers if Eason's. I don't know. He might do.
Well, I do read. It says Carson is expected to play, and so it looks like he's going to be starting. Even though he has, I never seen where you got two sprained ankles at the same time. But he got a right high ankle sprain and a low left low ankle sprain. So looks like he will still get to him.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that game.
Okay. What about you, Gene? Anybody on Tennessee that you like other than Derrick Henry? What do you think about Tannehill or AJ Brown, for that matter? You on mute, Gene? You on mute? Gene kicking.
Ever since Julio's got there, AJ Brown, 3 receptions first week, 4 receptions second week. I wouldn't touch AJ Brown. I'm definitely going with Julio because you got to throw the ball somewhere. Right now, Julio's been getting most of the receptions and the targets. So, yeah, I wouldn't touch AJ Brown, but I'm definitely high on Julio. And of course, Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? He could play every week.
Right. All right. Let's move on to the New Orleans Saints versus the New England Patriots. Over under is 43 points. Patriots are favored by 3. And so since we got my main man Terrence T2 back, let's start with you, Terrence. Anybody that you playing from this game, that you're high on?
Is Jameis Winston still getting 5,000 yards?
Yes, he is.
All right.
17 weeks.
If he is,
he just had his preseason.
He's going to need this game.
He's going to be on a hell of a 10 these last 15 weeks.
I guess it depends on which Saints team we're going to see. I actually think the Saints can do well in this game. You got 2 great coaches going up against each other, but this is a tough one because I don't know. We don't see 2 different Saints teams. I'm scared to play anybody outside of Kamara. So I don't know. I'm not even Jameis Winston against New England. On the New England side, I like Harris at the running back spot. I think he's coming along and really helping people for where you drafted him at. But yeah, those are the only two people I'm looking at right now.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so let's move to the Falcons versus the Giants. Atlanta Falcons versus the Giants. Over under on that is 48.5 points, with the Giants actually favored by 3. Like, it's not too often you're gonna get the Giants favored in the game, and so for them to be favored by 3 is interesting. But we saw Daniel Jones put up great numbers last week against the Washington football team. The question is, I got a couple questions, and we'll start with you, Jose. Is that, do you see Daniel Jones continuing his tear in terms of giving you both rushing and passing yards? He would have had an even greater day if they would have came through and not dropped the bomb he put on to in the end zone
Slayton.
to Slayton, right? And the second question is this the week that Saquon Barkley gets off the gets into that running back one or finishes the RB1 this week?
Whew, man, you give me tough questions. I do believe in Daniel Jones. His points go with his running game. If Saquon's back, his points will start going down. His rushing yards will at least start going down. He's still going to run, even if Saquon's back there. He's still going to run, but I think Saquon is still trying to get his knee, just trying to get, confident in running around with his knee like that, be able to do those quick moves, quick cuts. Until then, I got Daniel Jones still being on his little tear, especially against Atlanta. I got him. I picked up Sterling Shepard on my fantasy football. On my daily, so I need him to really go off of this.
All right, and so
that's being selfish.
All right, Gene, any thoughts on this game at all? Anybody that you like, or you kind of fading?
Yeah, the only thing that I would touch on this is Saquon against the horrible Atlanta defense. Like, I feel like if Saquon doesn't go off, or at least be moderate, at least successful in this game, then I'm a little worried about him moving forward. But Atlanta defense has been atrocious the first 2 weeks. So I'm definitely looking for Saquon to go off a little bit. Daniel Jones, I'm still not sold on Daniel Jones. Again, like Jose said, a lot of his stuff comes from rushing. You know what I mean? So he has to have one of them big runs and hope that he hope that he don't fall down or something. And so the only person on like this one is Saquon, man. Like,
I remember that game.
I got one last point in this game, and I'm gonna throw these turns. Any consideration for Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson, considering that the Giants' defense isn't that great at the moment? They haven't been performing all that admirable either.
Why didn't you give me that question?
I was gonna give it to Gene, but I figured I'd be picking on him if he got Mike Davis.
You gotta let Jose speak on Patterson. That's his boy.
Yeah, I think Patterson's gonna go off in this game. I think to outpace Giants for this game, I think he's gonna have to go off. You're gonna have him, Ridley, and it's hard to pronounce his name. This guy, they call him OZ or something like that. The third receiver, he's like what's his name?
Olamide Zacchaeus.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Zacchaeus, yeah. They call him OZ. I'm gonna just go with OZ. And I think Pitt's gonna go off in this game. So it's just gonna be a passing game. So I don't have no trust in Davis. None. I don't like him at all. Cut him.
Jose can't help it to go deep in the crates. He like a hip hop DJ.
Right. Yo, he pulled out record from 1962.
Right. He said, "I bet you don't hear this one."
Right. Yo, they wouldn't even hit.
Right. He went OZ on us. All right. So last one, and then we'll get into the over-under. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, this 44 points is the over-under. So they're not expecting a whole lot from this game. and the Steelers are actually favored by 4.5. You know, you get 3 being at home, and so turn anybody from this game that you like fading. I guess that one interesting thing about it is that Deontay Johnson is off of Pittsburgh. Do you think that puts Claypool or Schuster in position to outpace their predicted totals?
Yeah, I mean, I actually like the over on this game. You know, Joe Burrow they kind of been putting up a little bit of points. You know, but Pittsburgh defense is still pretty strong. But I like some points to be scored in this game actually. So I mean, of course, you're going with your 2 running backs, Joe Mixon and Najee Harris. You know, if you got them, most likely. But on the receiver side, for Pittsburgh, Juju, you know, you gotta at least consider him. He getting touches. I think he had you know, he getting he being serviceable. So, you know, I like some points to be scored in this game. It's too many options to figure out who. Yeah, I mean, I know. Like, what's the point of the fantasy of like that? But it's just, you know, like
you definitely got to have an opinion on it. You got to take a stand somewhere.
You know, but I will say I'm looking for some points to be scored in this game.
Okay. All right. I think for me, from a receiver standpoint, if I had to go with anybody from Pittsburgh, I would go Claypool. We know he can have those games where he posts you know, single digit point totals. But if somebody's gonna go off, I would go with the chances of being Claypool more than anybody else. The from Cincinnati, I definitely like Mixon. Man, Pittsburgh, I'm just thinking about Ben doesn't look good, so I'm not high on that offense at all. So I'm not sure where the points are going to come from. It may just come all from Cincinnati, but I'm always faithful that Pittsburgh defense will put up some resistance. So I don't see the points coming like that. But
I'm taking the over.
I see the points coming from Cincinnati. With Watt being out, they're gonna move that ball.
Yeah, if the points do come out, I think it'll come from Cincinnati, more than likely. So I'm just not a Pittsburgh well coach. I just haven't seen Ben put it together just yet in terms of believing that he's going to outduel somebody in the passing game so far. Well, all right, man. So let's get into it. Into our over unders, and then we'll come back to the remainder of the game. So first one we got is Josh Allen. His line is at 23.1 points. The consistency, and not that it makes any difference for the quarterbacks, but just half PPR expert consensus point totals. Josh Allen, 23.1 points. We can start with you, Gene.
Oh, over.
You going over?
I mean, yeah, Washington secondary is terrible. I think that this is the game that Diggs get it right.
Look, I don't know why I even asked, Terrence. He going to get Boston.
No,
I should have known he's gonna get the over on that one. He ain't been over all year.
Yo, why you gotta put me on this Washington hater, yo? I'm just saying facts. Like, I don't give him my unbiased opinion on the Buffalo Washington game. And I got him going over. You know what I mean? I just feel like this is the game that Diggs break out. And again, he's a runner. So he just needs to get one quarterback sneak for a touchdown, one 25-yard reach option. You know what I mean? Like, I just got him going over.
All right. So let's go with you, Jose. What's your thoughts?
I'm biased on this. Over. I'm biased. I have him on 3 of my teams. I'm over on him. I need him.
What you going with,
Terrence? Really believe in him.
I need him.
Yeah, I'll say over too. I mean, it's not really. That's pretty easy to do. I mean, it just shows how much he's been down the first 2 weeks.
Right.
If you would have asked last year, those numbers over under be over easy. You know what I mean? Like but I'm gonna start using
That was almost kind of like that was kind of like his floor, like around
right.
22 points.
Yeah.
Around
So
there.
I mean, with that short, yeah, I would say over.
All right, next one up. And Terrence, you start us off on this. Justin Fields, 18.1 points.
That's close.
You taking over or you going under?
That's a good number. Oh man, 18.1.
That's gonna be all Russian.
Get 2 points passing.
I mean, he got weapons though. He just
You know, I'm gonna take the over. I'm just gonna say when those running quarterbacks, when they first start out, it takes the defense a while to figure them out. So I would say I'm going to say over. I'm going to say the defense don't really know what to expect out of Justin Fields. So I think he going to go over this week just because they don't know what plays to practice for yet. So
Okay. What about you, Jose?
Dang, I would. That's gonna be tough. Yeah, I think he'll be over. That's a soft over. I think he's gonna get some yards. I think he's gonna get a lot of rushing yards. He's definitely gonna get a rushing touchdown. I think he's gonna get one passing touchdown. So that's 12 points right there.
All right. So you went. So Jose, you went over, and Terrence, yours was over as well.
over, yeah, I'm over.
All right. So are we going? You going with the sweep, Gene, or you going contra?
You know what? I'm going with the sweep, and I'll make it quick. Simply because, again, we all stated he's a running quarterback. Even if they're down by a lot, he has two things in his favor. He's going to throw the ball, and he's going to be against a lot of prevents, and you know what I mean. He's going to get a lot of cheap rushing yards. You know what I mean? Like he's going to get a lot of those 7, 8 yard run out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? Move the ball because you're down there in prevent in the fourth quarter. So I can actually see that going over. Not because he had a good day, but just because he's going to throw from being down and he's going to get a lot of scramble drill situations because the line is bad. So I got him going over.
All right. So next up is going to be look sticking with the same vein. I'm trying to see if we can. Jalen Hurts, 22.3 points. We start with you, Gene.
Dallas. Let's go.
Jalen Hurts
Yo,
against your boys.
that's a good number. That's a good number too because like what is Dallas's defense, right? Like, do we even know, right? Like they played against the Bucks, so you can be like it's the Bucks. Then they played against the Chargers, so you could be like it's the Chargers. And Hurts again, beating the dead horse, another scrambling running quarterback. I don't think that Philly can match the Cowboys as far as numbers that they're going to put up on offense. So I think they are going to be down. And Dallas defense isn't great. So I can see Jalen Hurts hitting that number or exceeding it, man. That's a good number though. 22.3 is a tough number. I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over.
All right. So Terrence, what you going over under?
Yeah, running quarterback versus Dallas. Yeah, I'm gonna say over. Yeah,
Jose going with the sweep.
Yeah, I like Hurts.
Honestly, I like that number right there. I think it's just gonna be 22.3.
Yeah, over under. There's no land for a push. You got to break. You got to either go with the sweep.
All right, I think it's gonna go 22.4. It's gonna be.
Right,
I think it's over.
Going over. All right, cool.
Yeah,
so
going over.
All right, here's one for you.
If you hit that on the nose, you need to go put the Powerball.
Over. I'm going over.
James Winston. Here we go. Starting with you.
Over.
15 points.
Over.
Now look, at first I would think that this would be an easy over. However, he's matched up against Bill Belichick, so we're gonna find out if he's reading the defenses or he just he was winging it that first week. What's your take, Terrence? Over under? Under. All right. Okay.
Under.
All
Under. I
right.
just even that number is so low that it's kind of a slap in the face to Jameis
And you
Winston.
still going under.
But I,
You smacked him
I,
twice.
I don't think Jameis Winston gonna get a touchdown this game. So
You gonna get a touchdown this game?
Because they need him. If you're gonna get that 5,000 yards, you're gonna need to do
I
something.
need him.
All right. So here we go. Gene, over under.
If he don't
Dak.
go over this number this week, he might not have a job next week, yo. Like
that's true. That's true.
He has to go over. Like if
Listen,
he
man.
yeah, if he don't get over 15 points this week, man, yeah, it's the Taysom Hill watch is like on full effect, yo.
You're right. You are so right.
Mike Thomas coming soon. Don't worry.
Mike Thomas coming soon. That's all right. All right. So next one up. This should be interesting, right? And we start off with Gene on this one.
Sorry.
Let's see.
We going.
Terry McLaurin, 13.5 points.
Nah, he going over. Yeah, he going over again. Like I said, I've been high. If y'all listen to me anytime these last 3 weeks, I've been like Heineke, McLaurin, targets. Like he going over because Buffalo defense is stout. So he's going with what he know best. So McLaurin getting a ton of targets. Even if they're just quick screens or whatever, he's getting a ton of touches. So it's over.
All right. So my bad. We go back. Everybody can get a chance to chime in. All right. So Jose, Terry McLaurin, 13.5 points. He going over under.
He going over, but not by much.
Okay.
He going against that corner. White, I think.
All right. What about you, Terrence?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, so just off bias, yeah, I mean, it's 13.5. Yeah, I mean, the number is too low. You can't slap a man in the face like that. No, he can. 13. I mean, that's what 60 yards and a touchdown. I mean,
right.
So yeah, I got it.
Have you reached that number the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, he went off last week.
Yep.
And then week 1, did he reach it? Did he reach 35?
No,
so his average has been
20, I think.
His average in stand has been 11.5, but in half PPR, he's averaged. Let's see. In standard PPR, he's averaged 15.2. So
yeah, last week he went off, but the first week that's when they had the quarterback change. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
that's what I was saying. The first half with your boy Fitz, he didn't get hardly any targets.
That's my whole point is I think his numbers was low in that first week because of you've been in preseason the whole preseason with Fitz, and then you switch up. You don't really get that chemistry with Heineke that had a week of practice, and he came back and you saw what he did. So yeah, so I'm gonna go over.
okay, all right, cool. Next up, let me start with you, Terrence. Tony Pollard, 8.9 points against the Eagles.
Yes.
All right. What about you, Jose?
Over.
Over. I'm not gonna hate. Over.
All right. All right, James.
I want
with the sweep.
That's tough though. Like, I mean, I feel like again, I remember games that people act like this is new. He's had 100-yard games before, came back the next week and had like 4 touches. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna say over because I feel like it's a national story now because of you know what I'm saying how he did it. So I don't think that they can go back to giving him 4 or 5 touches. So I'm gonna say over. But history says that if he has a 100-yard game, I think he gets like under 5 touches the like next game. So, but I'm gonna go with over though.
Okay. All right. So we got a sweep over. I'll probably go with over as well. But let's get back to the finish off these slated games, and we'll get back going, and we'll start with Eugene. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Detroit Lions. The Ravens are favored by 9. The over-under is at 49.5. points, anything of no hit, anybody that you like a lot or that you fading?
I mean, if Lamar Jackson's healthy, right? The only person I like a lot on either one of them rosters is Jackson. You know, I think that they're going to put up points on Detroit's defense. I wouldn't touch anyone on Detroit's offensive side of the ball. I mean, unless you're like in need of a player.
I mean, Hawkinson, you can't.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I definitely got Hawkinson on one of my teams.
yeah, the tight end, right?
Yep,
Yeah. No,
Yep.
he's with like you got to call him a tight end one.
definitely.
Yep.
He's
Yes.
he's 60. He got 60 catches, 163 yards, 2 TDs, and basically he's on pace to catch 136 passes this
So
year.
do you guys think he'll get off on the Ravens defense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they haven't stopped it. They haven't stopped it. They haven't stopped any tight end yet.
Tight end? Okay.
Ravens defense ain't been real Raveny lately.
Right.
We talked about this the other day.
Right. And then all fairness, quarterback managers tend to throw to the tight end a lot. So with Jared Goff there, you know what I mean, he's not exactly always going outside of
He don't got nobody else to throw to for real.
Yeah.
Yes, he does on my list. He does.
Defense.
We'll get there yet. We ain't there yet. All right. Oh, question. So we'll go with you, Terrence. Question for you is: DeAndre Swift is a game time decision, right? If he doesn't go, you rocking with Jamal Williams? You think he is in that RB2 range at that point in time?
Yeah, high end RB2. If Swift is out, you start Jamal Williams. So yeah, I'm going with high end RB2, almost RB1. In the PPR league. So
Right.
like we just said earlier, there ain't a lot of people to throw to. So you got
It's all backs and tight ends.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I like Jamal Williams in this game for sure.
So question for Terrence. So if both backs are completely healthy, who do you go with? Williams or Swift?
Swift. I mean, if you got to make that decision, Swift is the number one running back on the team.
Right. I'm asking because I do have have Swift, but I don't. What have their production been for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks? I don't want to sidetrack this whole segment, make it too long, but
Swift has been he had an average. He's been average compared to Williams. Williams had a good game the first game, but the second game he didn't.
yeah. And
But they both good backs though.
that's what I was saying. Like I have Swift, and it hasn't been that obvious the first couple of weeks. I think people seem to think it's that obvious coming into the season, but if you look at the numbers, it's been pretty even. That's why I asked. I'm just curious of what y'all thought about it.
All right. So
I think it's. I mean, I think.
So I know right now Swift is at his totals right now. He's at 8 receptions, 65 yards, 1 TD, 11 rushing attempts for 39 yards, averaging 3.5 yards a carry. And I had to look up Williams' actual numbers are, but they're pretty similar. But I think that from a touches standpoint,
upside point.
Yeah, ideally, if like you have one of them, then you would want the other one to be out. You know what I mean? You don't want to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Injury on like no one, but if you got one of them, then you would want the other one to not be there.
Right. That. So let's see. Right now he's at looking game log. He's had 54 yards rushing, 1 TD, 8 receptions up to this point. That was week 1, and last week he had game. So yeah, it's pretty similar. All right, let's move to the next joint. Next game. As soon as my screen pull up. Oh man, we'll do this. I'm trying to All right, here we go. All right, next game up is going to be. I don't even know if there's a lot to talk about. It's the Jets versus the Broncos. Over under is 41.5 points. Anybody worth talking about in this game?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Look, that's not a deep sleeper. Not a Hail Mary.
I mean, yeah, the Broncos gonna go off. If you got Bridgewater, if you got Sutton, if you got Patrick, you got Williams or oh man, I have his name. Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon. I got
Yeah.
Gordon in one league. It'll be interesting to see. I know Williams has been a disappointment so far, even though they kind of been splitting the carries.
All right, what y'all not gonna do is disrespect Corey Davis.
I was waiting for that.
What you're not gonna do is disrespect Corey Davis. Okay, if you got him, you better be worried because they look bad. They look bad.
Yeah. I was waiting for the joint to drop. I'm like, he got 8 yards on 2 catches last week.
Yeah, I mean, but on the Jets, that's the only one you can even consider. I mean, just because the offensive line is so bad, so
they look bad out there, brother.
So yeah. I go with Crowder, James Crowder. He's coming back for the first game.
He's back.
He should be back. I mean, let me check my scouting report. I thought he was back.
You may need to check that Palm Pilot.
Because if he's not back, then I definitely will go with Berrios.
All right. What about so we moved to the Dolphins versus the Raiders?
Why you just ignore his Berrios thing, man?
No, we not digging that deep yet. Dolphins versus the Raiders. The over under 45 and a half points. We got Brissett at the helm. I don't see anything going for Miami but at this point in time. The one interesting thing I asked you, Jose, Kenyon Drake starting for if he starts for he's gonna start for Las Vegas. Any upside there in playing Kenyon Drake or Peyton Barber?
Yeah,
I can see Peyton Barber vulturing all the goal line carries.
Yeah, it's anytime somebody go back to a team that let them go, or a team that they left, it's a payback. It's come to show off.
All right. What about that's pretty much it. I'm looking through, and we all know Waller. You start no matter what. What's that?
If you in a super flex league, what you think about Jacoby Brissett?
They say no risk it, no brisket. You ain't getting no brisket with this one. He had opportunity to, he had games where he extended periods of time where he started, and he's never actually, impressed during that time. So I'm not messing with him, unless you just, one of them leagues are 2 quarterback or super flex, and there's nobody else on the board that you can pick, and it's super deep, maybe like our team with the 14-team or 16-team leagues.
Will Fuller comes back this game.
Yes, he does.
He does come back now.
So Water goes into the slot.
It'd be interesting. I want to see. I'm interested in seeing. I was more excited with Tua being there than Brisket, but I've been holding out for Will Fuller to come back, especially on one of my leagues. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. For me, it's a wait and see approach. It may be the fact that Brisket just decides to just get him the rock, feed it to him. But I'm not buying until I see some potential there. All right, so the Bucks versus the Rams, 54.5 points. Ooh, this should be a good one, right?
Yes.
Even though Darrell Henderson Jr. is out, this should be a barn burner. You got Brady versus Stafford, the Tampa Bay multi whack-a-mole backfield with Fournette, Jones, Bernard. We talked about Sony Mitchell playing there. Question for you, and we'll start with Gene. With Antonio Brown being out, who would you rather have, Mike Evans or Chris Godwin?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans?
And actually, I do have Mike Evans, but yeah, Mike Evans. And one of my leagues, Mike Evans, because like last week, what he had 2 touchdowns. Like I just think he's a red zone target. You know what I mean? And red zone targets are always, you always give them like a leg up when it's even. And Chris Godwin, he has a lot of drops lately, man. But I'm definitely going with Mike Edwards.
Ooh.
I mean, I think you don't bench either one of those, right?
But
Right.
I happen to bench both of them.
No, you definitely playing them both. But if you had to choose who would go off, would it be?
If I had both
Evans?
of them, I play both of them.
Who would you choose to go off between if you had to choose one between Evans or Godwin? Who's picking up AB's catches and yards?
Scotty Miller.
Scotty. I was about to say Scotty Miller, or Gronk, or OJ, or Bernard. Shoot, Bernard might get it. Giovanni Bernard.
Digging deep again. Digging deep again.
It's only going to average about like.
Fabio went to the third running back.
Right.
The third running
Digging
back.
deep again.
It's only I wouldn't read that much.
It just comes out, my man.
I wouldn't read that deep like into it because it's only 5 catches, right? They could be spread out to 2 extra catches to Evans, 1 catch to
No, let's go to
1
Gronk.
catch to Brendan, 1 catch to Gronk. You know what I mean? It's not. They have too many weapons to be like this 4 catches is going to go to this. You know what I mean? It's going to go to this person. So I wouldn't really read that much into it. Like 4 to 5
I'm not.
catches in that offense. 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. You know what I mean?
I'm not starting Evans because he's going against Ramsey's. He's going to be following him all the way around.
But is Ramsey on Evans or is Ramsey? Okay, real quick. So, do you guys play the best player? Like, if your receiver's a wide receiver 1, you don't just play him every week. If you know Ramsey's on them, you don't just play him.
I think.
Play him.
I
think
never
mentioned.
certain guys you just gotta play.
Yeah.
I bet you. If I got remember I got I might not have household names, but I got players who are probably like scoring more right now at this moment. I would bench him if I have a player that I think is going to have a better matchup. Like if let's say Marquise Brown and Evans, I'm going to bench Evans and start Marquise Brown. That's just me because Marquise Brown is going against less talented corners. Where, yeah,
Put money on that.
All right, so look, here's some notes. Over the previous 16 games, Mike Evans has exceeded his projection 56% of the time, right? And then there's a note on
16
Godwin.
games.
Yeah, over the last 16 games. And Godwin.
What about the last 2 weeks?
Over the previous 13 games, Chris Godwin has exceeded his projection totals 76% of the time.
Ooh. Right, but
76
total though.
76% of the time. So Godwin definitely is predicted to have more catches. More points than half PPR than
Godwin. Yeah, they both to me top 24 wide receivers.
My only issue with Evans is that he is so that 56% that he's going over, the other 44%, he can have a single digit performance where he don't
he touchdown dependent. Yeah,
he be having duds.
So
right.
All right, let's move to
now when Jameis was there.
But James was there too.
Everybody ate when Jameis was there. Jameis
right. Jameis
30 picks.
Right. He said, I don't care if I throw it in the set, I'm throwing it.
30. He was the real 30 for 30. Taking the pay out of ESPN.
I mean, let's talk about it. That's really Jameis Winston's team. You know what I mean? Like
he primed him, and Tom Brady.
Yep.
Jameis primed him.
Yeah,
right.
He did.
All right, so let's move. What's the next show we got on?
Don't forget about Van Jefferson. The Rams. You got some good offensive weapons. They're going to be passing around. You got Cooper Kupp, Woods. Your man Woods, Terrence.
No. So this is what I was going to ask about Los Angeles is that Cooper Kupp been going off. The any concern about Robert Woods at this point in time. And he's actually going to be on our over under. So we'll start. We'll ask his over under. His projected point total half PPR for this week is. Let me see where we at.
15. 12.
Woods is at. He said 12. Actually, is that 12 point is 12.7. So you guys, if you going above or over under, we start with you, Jose.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over.
Over.
Yeah,
What about you?
it's gonna be passing.
What about you, Terrence?
Oh, man, this is a tough one for me, man, because I like Robert Woods. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a gamble and say over.
Okay. You mean a sweet Gene? Over?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over. I just feel like he do. I don't really have no real reason other than he just do.
If he don't perform this week, then you should worry.
Right. This should be a high scoring game. Should be plenty of opportunities. So I definitely I don't know if he can go over or under, but if he doesn't go over, then you should definitely be concerned, especially with your starting running back out too. Right. So it should be plenty to go around. All right. Next up, another high scoring game: Seattle Seahawks, Minnesota Vikings. Over under this game is 55.5 points. So we got a points bonanza on this one as well. The Russell Wilson and has been doing this thing. Kirk Cousins, normally he gets off to a slow start, but this year he's actually come out firing and they've been in games where they've had to air it out. Games that have come down to the wire. So and we'll start with you, Terrence. Anybody that you really like in this one? Anybody that you kind of away from that you normally would play?
Yeah, with Dalvin Cook out, I think Kirk Cousins just gonna be throwing it all game. I think he's gonna be a top 5 quarterback this week.
Who's gonna be throwing to?
your boy KJ Osborne.
Oh man,
KJ Osborne, Thielen, Jefferson. So yeah, I see them having a good game.
Yeah, I see that too.
All right, look. So I'm going to be, and I don't know if I can trust y'all. Consider we all in the same league. But I got a question I'm gonna pose right now. Y'all let me know what you think. KJ Osborne versus Jacoby Myers.
Oh, that's easy.
Who's that?
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. You already know what you're gonna say. Clean KJ.
It's a sweep. Y'all think right now?
Mac Jones.
Jacoby Myers is the consensus is that he's gonna outperform KJ Osborne.
What consensus?
Based
And have they been right? Man, I don't know. He hasn't showed up, and I don't know. He's going against New Orleans Saints.
Osborne is predicted to have basically 7.5 points, right? And
that's when Cook was still playing, though.
Is it guaranteed that Jacoby Myers is set to his projected point total is at 10.2.
Going against Saints defense?
Yep.
I don't trust Mac Jones. I'm gonna go Osborne.
I mean, it's like this. They both getting about the same amount of targets, average over the first 2 weeks, right? And this New England game is expected to be very low scoring. So I'm gonna take the shootout.
Yeah, I'll take the shootout. Gene over there thinking.
Well, to tell you, I got Osborne at the moment, and just based on his game's gonna be a shootout, so he has the opportunity, should have more opportunity. What you think, Gene?
I mean, it's a push. I gotta pick one. I'm going with Osborne just because of the quarterback. Like, I mean, has Matt Jones cracked 250 yards in the first 2 weeks of the season? You know what I mean?
Together.
Right. Not individually. So I'm gonna go with Osborne just because I think it'll be the ball to be going in the air more.
Watch it be this game that he just go off just to prove
Yeah, I
it.
know, right? That's how
But
it
man,
works.
I kind of feel like I've been waiting on Jacoby to really do something for a minute
I got
this
both of
last
them. I
season,
got
and
both of them on my roster.
I haven't seen it yet. In terms of upside, I definitely like KJ. All right, so let's move on. Green Bay Packers, 49ers, 47.5 points is
Woo.
the over under. And look, we're not even going to talk 49ers backfield until the Hail Mary section. But anybody, Gene, that you like or or kind of fading on this? I think pretty much we already know we playing Aaron Jones, playing Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, of course, Debo Samuels. If you got a deeper league, I'm not touching Ayuk. But
Hold on. Question
What
though.
about
What's
Tunyon?
going on with Kittle?
yeah, I mean, I got Kittle. You got if you draft him so high, I don't think you can afford the bench.
Gotta play him.
Who you gonna bring on the bench?
Right.
Look, unless unless you did like Terry, I don't know who she had at the as a star. I can't remember who she had. AJ had as a starting tight end, but he ended up drafting Gronk as well. So unless you drafted Gronk late in the draft, you don't really have nobody that you would put in for Kittle.
Yeah, they got lucky. They had Gronk on the bench the first 2 weeks, but the Noah Noah Fant, I think he
Oh yeah.
he still he wasn't Gronk, but you ain't die by having him out there. So nah, but Kittle, that game, man, the Green Bay San Fran game, man, like I ain't touching nobody on San Fran offense but Debo and Kittle because you got to play Kittle because you drafted him high. And we know Green Bay. I mean, you already said it: Adams, Rodgers, Jones, and that's about it. Like I mean, that game is pretty much. I don't see any sleepers coming out of there, except for I'm sure Jose has said about the
I'm
fan
sure.
running backs. Yeah, I'm sure he has.
Mhm.
He has a Hail Murray coming from that problem.
What about you, Terrence? Anything on this game?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, somebody mentioned Kittle. You got to play Kittle. Is there any other wide receiver outside Devontae Adams?
That's what I think. Like this game
There
is,
is
it's
supposed to
Green
be
Bay.
Valdez Scantling,
man.
but
You
he
got
right
Cobb.
now he got 3 catches on 12 targets for 17 yards.
Yeah, this game is kind of like what like you see is what you get. It's not a lot,
Yeah,
Right.
under the surface with these teams.
All right, so let's
yeah.
finish out. We got a couple. Let me see. We got 2 more games. We'll go with actually 1 more game because the Thursday night game is already played. Uh, Philadelphia versus Cowboys. 51.5 is the point total over under. We talked about Jalen Hurts. We gave out over under on that. What's up with Dak Prescott? The Eagles backfield. Let me start with Jose. Any thoughts on this game? Anybody you like a lot?
CD
or
a lot. I
don't
like
like it
CD
all?
Lamb. I like CD Lamb. I like Dak. I like Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
I like Gobert. I like Hurts. Oh, and honestly, I kind of like Cedric Wilson.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Cleveland. Yeah.
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Terrence? Anybody a note or anything you like on this game?
I mean, you still got your regular people. I mean, I like Tony Pollard to outperform again this week. So if you need somebody in the flex, somebody you want to take a look at. Yeah, that's it.
All right. So, Gene, I'm getting it just because it's your team. Anything you want to comment on?
Yeah, like
Anybody you like?
if you're in a 14 or a 16 team league and you don't have a receiver, or if someone's hurt, Cedric Wilson would definitely be a good pickup just to like buy you a week. And I'll go with the Vontae Smith against the Cowboys secondary. I think that he got a chance to get off.
I can see that. I think Devontae Smith may be a interesting DFS play. You're looking to for a bargain or depending on where he is. All right, man. So let's go. We're gonna finish out with our over-unders. We do have a question in the chat. Madison or Marquise Brown? So I'm assuming that's at a flex position.
Marquise Brown for me.
So last I checked, Marquise Brown is he's questionable. So depending on what his game time decision is, it may be determine the factor. But I like Marquise Brown as well. What about you guys? We go with terms.
Madison. I mean, Madison has not done well filling in for Dalvin Cook. He is not, for whatever reason, he just, even though he turns into the starting running back when he's out there, is the periods where Dalvin Cook was hurt in the past. Madison has not came in and did a whole lot, so I don't trust him at all. So yeah, if you expect, I like Marquise Brown, but check the status, of course.
All right. Let's see here. All right, let's go to our final over-unders. We'll start with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is projected to have this week in the half PPR. His predicted total is going to be.
I don't care, over. Whatever you say, over.
Yeah, no, over.
Over. Everybody's over.
Whatever number you say is over.
Yeah, 19.5.
And they're playing who?
Half PPR.
Indianapolis.
They playing Indianapolis.
Over.
All right. So that's a clean sweep, right? So the next one we'll go with is going to be main man Austin Eckler. I need him to do something before 2-something. His projected point total is at 16.
Under.
And they're matched up against Kansas City, so there should be points of plenty.
No, but he just.
I'm going over.
So all right, turns you got to break the stalemate.
Yeah, I guess it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Let's just say over. I'm gonna say over, just because of the point total.
All right, so we'll say over. All right, cool. Here's another one. Somebody we mentioned earlier, and that is Saquon Barkley. His predicted total is 14.4 and half PPR for the week.
I'm going over because he played the Falcons. I'm just going to.
So Turns is under. Gene is over. Jose, it's on you to break the stalemate.
10 days rest.
Gene said 10 days rest. Falcons terrible. He said he can't help but to go over.
I'm gonna say over. I got over. That's tough.
Over. All right, let's see. Last couple. Robert Woods. He's at 12.5. And we all said if he don't do something this week, he's in trouble. Considering they matched up against Tampa Bay. Yeah. We're going
I'm
up or down.
Over.
I'm going over.
I'm gonna go over. Over.
All right, so we got that's a sweep. Over. All right. Pittman Jr.
Depends who's starting.
Right.
So let's say they said that he's expected to play. Carson Wentz is expected to play. So that's what we're gonna go with. Carson Wentz is gonna be at the helm.
I say over. If Carson's is in, I say over.
What about you, Terrence?
Yeah, it's the number is so low that I gotta say over just because it's so low. I don't think Pittman is a good play this week, but 10 points, yeah, I gotta give him 10 points.
So who's Indianapolis' number one receiver? Is it Pittman?
Well, Pascal been going off.
Yeah, it's Pittman. Pascal he's get touchdowns every game, so
Right. Yeah. So
But it's
yeah,
supposed to be Pittman, right?
yeah.
right. So ball got to go somewhere, right? So like you said the number's so low. I'm just go over just because the number's at 10. Like they can go either way, but yeah, you figure one touchdown puts them over halfway there.
So Terrence and Gene got an over. What about you, Jose?
Yeah, I'm over.
All right. Last one. Then we'll jump into our DFS lineups. George Kittle. I need him. I'm gonna tell you now. I need him to be over. I went high. He on in a couple leagues to get this dude because I was so far back in the draft order. So we start with you, Gene. Over under.
He over this week. They gonna make a concerted effort to get him the ball.
What about you, Jose?
Over. They got you.
We going with the sweep turns or?
Well, he on my fantasy team, so if I don't believe in him, who gonna believe in him? I'm going over.
All right,
Got
so
him in the
look.
third round. Shoot.
All right, so look, let's go with so that concludes the over unders, and so man, we're gonna get ready to close it out. Last two segments. First thing we're gonna do is our daily fantasy DraftKings lineup or whatever. So we'll start with U turns. Who's your DraftKings DraftKings lineup looking like?
All right, here we go. Coming in at quarterback, we got my boy Kirk Cousins. Mr. You Like That himself. So game gonna be a shootout. I'm going with the stack. I'm going with Thielen. I think Thielen, a good target. I'm going with the sleeper king, KJ Osborne.
Okay.
We've been mentioning him a lot. I think he's gonna do something. I'm gonna do a game stack. I think Tyler Lockett gonna do it 3 weeks in a row. So that's my quarterback and my wide receivers. And then I got Henry. I paid up for Henry. And then I went with my boy Chase Edmonds as a running back too. I got Noah Font and as my tight end, Cardinals defense. That only left me 3,900. It's 4,000 to flex. It wasn't a lot of people out there, so I had to reach out to the sleeper king. And I said, who would I do sleeping? I only got 4,000. He said, do Cephas. Get Cephas from Detroit. So I got him in my flex.
You've been blessed.
All right, so let's go ahead and type your joints up in the chat, and we'll let Gene go with it.
Good on my phone, man. Y'all.
Oh, like go ahead, run it. I'll type it up for you. Run it down, just the names again. So you did
Cousins.
Okay, Cousins.
Henry. Edmonds. Osborne. Thielen. Lockett. Noah Font.
Lockett.
Flex is Cephas.
I don't even know how you spell Cephas.
CEPHUS.
CEPHUS. Okay.
And then Cardinals defense.
And then Arizona defense. So this is I think I got that right. Cousins, Henry, Edmonds, KJ Osborne, Thielen, Lockett, Noah Font, Cephas, and Arizona.
Yep.
All right. Run yours, Gene.
So look, man, I think I got like a $50,000 winner here, man. Like this team is amazing, yo. I got Justin Herbert at a quarterback.
Okay.
I went with Nick Chubb at running back. I went on the little budget tier with Tony Pollard, so I think that's a hell of a bargain that I got from him. I got Tony Pollard right there. He could easily give you 100 again and a touchdown or two. And then look, I don't know what it is, but yo, we got to figure out a way to monetize this KJ Osborne thing because I got K Osborne that wide receiver. We need to give him some type of marketing deal for the podcast.
I mean, 3,500. What you gonna do?
Right?
Yeah, man, it's tough to beat that.
I don't know the whole thing don't put them in everybody's mind or like what? Clearly the Jerry Rice of the podcast, yo.
Right.
So we got Osborne. Then I got Mike Williams as my number 2 receiver. And then to go with my budget, look, call me Cowboy Bias, but if Gallup's out, right, Cedric Wilson, he did pretty good last week. So for a budget receiver, he was there. And just to show that, I'm not biased, I got Logan Thomas as my tight end, to try to, spray the DC love. I got Logan Thomas, Cooper Kupp in my flex. And I got the Broncos D and still has $600 left. Oh, I might go.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I might go get me an Xbox or something with that 600.
Said Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos D.
All right, so Herbert, Chubb, Pollard, KJ Osborne, Mike Williams, Cedric Wilson, Logan Thomas, Kupp, Broncos. All right, so let's hear yours, Jose.
All right, so I'm gonna give you one. Then I got my sleeper one.
We got one liner.
All right, so
you get one liner.
Which one y'all want? Which one y'all want?
The one is gonna beat us.
The winning one. The winning one.
All right, so I got Carr. Derek Carr.
Practice in March Madness, yo.
Right.
I got Derek Carr, Chubb, Cordell Patterson, Rondell Moore, Lockett, Osborne, Waller, Gronk, and Cardinals defense.
All right, so I'm typing this. Hold on a second.
Oh, my bad. So
Carr's my quarterback. I got Carr, Chubb, Cordell Patterson, Lockett. Who else at the receiver spot?
Osborne, Rondell Moore.
Oh man, we all got Osborne. I need to change my joint up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Osborne joint.
Who's your other running back?
Patterson, Cordell Patterson.
Oh, Cordell. Okay, so Cordell, he's at your running back. So then I got Lockett, Osborne. Who's the other receiver?
Rondell Moore.
All right.
Tight ends, Darren Waller.
Baller.
My flex is Gronk. And my defense is Cardinals.
They're going Cardinals, huh?
You're going against Jacksonville.
Yeah, so that's an easy that's an easy one right there. All right, so I'm so this is mine. I'm going contrarian, and I'm going with the stack with D Jones, Daniel Jones, and Sterling Shepard against the lowly Atlanta Falcons. And then I got Daniel Jones as quarterback, Mixon and Kamara at my running backs. I got Sterling Shepard, Tyler Boyd. He should be picking up some of T. Higgins' leftovers, and Cooper Kupp coming in strong. He doing his things. Then I got Mark Andrews at tight end, and I went with Hawkinson as my flex. And then I got Cincinnati D because Pittsburgh not putting up nothing right now, so I can roll with it.
Ooh, I like that.
I like it.
I like that.
I don't like Andrews. That's the only one I don't like.
Yeah, he a little sketchy.
And a PPR and a 1-point PPR, that's the only one I don't like. But
I like that.
All right, Jose. So let's hear it, man. Now we at that point in time in the show that you give me your Hail Murray. So give us 3 to 4 Hail Marys that you got for us.
We're gonna go with so many. Oh, Anthony Schwartz.
It's always so many.
I gotta write it down.
I don't know how you find them, but it's always so many.
Anthony Schwartz,
wide receiver for Cleveland Browns. He's a deep threat. I really think that it's going to be a position for him in the upcoming weeks. especially with like Landry and all of them getting hurt. But he's a deep threat. He hasn't got any catches last week, but the week before, the first week, he actually performed well. The other one would be Sony Michel. I think he's gonna do some things. And then I got Demetric Felton, wide receiver / running back from Cleveland Browns. He does kick return, punt return. He's a slasher. He had 56.
You got 2 Cleveland wide receivers?
No, he's a half a hat. So he's a wide receiver / running back. That's how they had him on Yahoo. So I don't know where he's at on DraftKings. And then I gotta go deep in the bag for this. It's
Deeper?
Jaquez Patrick from San Francisco. I don't know really. This is really going far in the bag, but I think Sermon, he's starting right now, but he's coming off a concussion protocol, so I don't know if one hit can get him out. And if that does, I do see him. He's a bigger back. He was backup for Devin Cook, and it was another big name running back he was a backup for, but he's definitely a backup for them. And he's like 235 pounds, but he can run. If he gets that ball, I do see him in the Alfred Morris type of role. I don't know if he's going to be Alfred Morris, but in that role for that play, because I think Trey Lance is going to play that game.
He's not even listed on.
I know.
That's how deep he went. He's not even listed on the active player list for DraftKings.
Yo,
That's
I
deep.
got a fan question coming from me, and then we can get out on this if you guys want to. You can only play one: Mike Davis, Sermon, or Pollard.
Sermon.
I'm going Pollard.
So Mitchell was out.
Yeah, Mitchell's out. He's doubtful.
Yeah, I go Sermon.
Just Shanahan, man. He knows how to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Plays, man.
They always seem to get the ground game going, but I haven't
this
seen.
is Green Bay.
I haven't seen a 49ers running back finish the game yet this year. So,
but I'm gonna tell you this: the Green Bay
why
fan
should this
brand
week be any different?
It's gonna
Sermon's
be different.
trying to get that spot back, man. Sermon's
Uh-huh.
like, nah, that was supposed to be my spot. So he about to go out there and show him.
He calls dudes a 7th-round draft pick. he do need to make up for that. But that's it, man. So we actually gave y'all a full show, man. We went 142 at this point in time.
Right.
So man,
Yeah.
we gave folks, we started a few minutes late, but man, we gave y'all your money's worth. That's for sure.
Definitely.
So all right, fellas, it's been real.
All right.
And man, I look forward to it. Seeing what the weekend slate is. You know, I wish y'all the best of luck at finishing second place to me in our league. And so on that note, man, get back in pocket and take us out.
Deuces.
Here we go. Back in
We back on Black Bull in 98.
Second mind.
Somebody say they supposed to be able to do that, but we on that note.
Like,
All right,
Listen.
fellas, holla, man.
All right.
All right.
all right, fellas.